Good afternoon. Welcome to a new week of daily vlogs. It's Sunday afternoon. It's beautiful weather, and I have been in the garden. It's such a mess out there. It really is. There's so much that needs cutting back. I filled the garden wheelie bin, the garden waste wheelie bin, and that's being collected tomorrow. So potentially I could do another load of garden stuff tomorrow because it really needs it. We're meant to be going out for a sort of, countryside walk, but I think we might have to do more of a local walk because I would really like to crack on with the garden. I mean, I haven't, since we had the house painted, I've only been out there once. The rubbish is still there, which Paul has been meaning to sort out but not had the time to do, which is fine. But I'd really like to get that moved so it can be a little bit further into the driveway so we can use the driveway for the car again. I'd really like to get the front garden cut back because it's out of control. The ivy is out of control. Paul's done a little bit, but he's not been as severe as I normally am. And I'd really like to get some more done in the back. It just needs a really good tidy up, and there's a lot of things that need to go. We've got a load of pots that need to be gotten rid of because I'm never going to use them. Gone are the days of me filling the patio full of pretty pots. I'm not doing it. I can't afford it, to be honest. I can't afford to be buying, new sets of plants each season and buying loads of compost, and no, I just can't do it. So, and I also don't want the work. I don't want the responsibility of having to do window boxes for each season, watering them every day, ruining my paintwork by watering them. No, I don't want to do it. But I do want it tidier. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be gotten rid of as well. Stuff we just don't need. So it's kind of quite a big job. I mean, I know our garden looks very pretty. The view looks very pretty. It's all green, but it gets very overgrown very, very quickly and becomes a thicket of green. And to be honest, I really like doing gardening midweek because it's nice and quiet. You don't have neighbours in their gardens. So Paul has been down at For Earth's Sake today because of the event that they've got. The Hook Eagle Morris dancers are doing the Midsummer Revels, but that finishes around 6 o'clock, so he should be on his way home soon. I think it's about 6:15. I need to have a bath, which I'm going to do now, and a hair wash because I'm filthy. And I want to put some fresh clothes on. So, yeah. So it's been a sort of busy day. I did tidying this morning, vacuuming, dusting, gardening this afternoon. And I barely scratched the surface. My lawn is an absolute mess. It's a dry, brown mess. And it's amazing how, just a week of warm weather, well, nearly 2 weeks, I guess, of warm weather and very little rain. It's amazing how quickly everything dries out. Yeah. So I have watered the garden this afternoon. I put the sprinkler on for about half an hour. I move it around, make sure everything's sort of, given a good soaking. And as usual, there are some plants that are looking very, very tired already. The big shrubs, they take care of themselves, but some of the smaller things that are just getting established, just dry up. I've given the roses a good prune. They were looking good, but they were getting very straggly, so they needed a really good prune back. I've cleared the area where the Buddha is as well. That was a lot of weeds. It's a lot of work, and I'm not keeping on top of it, to be honest. If I could employ somebody, I would. But I can't afford to do that, so that's okay. I just have to push, which is why I'm sort of trying to seize the moment by saying, I think tomorrow we go for an early walk and then I do gardening, because at the end of the week, it's going to be very, very hot and humid. So that's going to really not make it comfortable for doing gardening. So I really want to seize the day tomorrow. Yeah. So there we are. That's it for today. Nothing else to report. I'm really enjoying the weather being warmer. I really am. It's a pleasure. And today's been kind of, quite nice. It took a while to get going, to be honest, to really motivate myself to push through it. And I have done a lot. But I'm nowhere near at the point where I can say, oh, look at my garden, isn't it nice? It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess out there. The patio's a mess. Yeah, and it's annoying me now. And it's annoying me that we've still got all that rubbish on the driveway as well. That's really getting to me, but I'm putting a lid on that, if you get my drift. I think we might have to just hire a small skip, because there are a few things in the back garden that need to go, that are just taking up space. So anyway, I'm just waffling now. So I'm not in a bad mood, but I'm sort of like, and I always feel like that when I do gardening. I'm always a little bit sort of annoyed by it, because I don't actually enjoy gardening. It has to be done, but I don't enjoy it. Anyway, that's okay. And I think also we need to get the tree people in as well, because there are a couple of trees that could do with just going, because there are too many trees in the back garden now. We've allowed new trees to pop up, like there's a plum tree that popped up, and that's got so big and out of control that I can't manage it. Whinge, 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 poor me. So yeah, we may have to get the tree people in. And that eucalyptus is getting way too big again. Hey ho, onwards and upwards, yay. I laugh at my own patheticness, if that's not a word, is it really? Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. At least I can laugh. That's the thing. Always laugh. Always laugh. When you're feeling a bit, laugh. It'll make you feel better. I'm going to enjoy a nice bath now, and no, you're not coming with me. Bye for now. Bye. Good afternoon. It's Monday afternoon, evening, I guess. So today, well, I started off with some chores this morning. I sort of decided that I wanted to continue doing chores because I was in the mood. And I was in the mood for doing things that I don't normally do, like cleaning the wardrobe, getting all the dust out from the bottom of the wardrobe where it seems to gather for some unknown reason. I don't know why there's so much, but there is. Getting into the corners of the bedroom and just giving it a spring clean. And I sort of noticed how it felt so humid. I was sort of tidying my scarves and t-shirt drawers, and I thought everything feels slightly damp. So I thought I'm going to put the dehumidifier on for a while. And it was saying that it's not that humid. And the weather station was saying it was 67% humidity, but it felt really humid and warm. Regardless, and it has gone on to feel even more humid and even warmer, which is fine. I'm enjoying feeling the warmth. And I was doing the drawer that contains all of our thermals. And I thought, gosh, it's hard to believe that it got so cold in the winter and so horrible, when we were wearing, thermal t-shirt and 2 jumpers and a scarf, gloves and 2 pairs of leggings. And now it's hot and humid. Hey-ho. So yeah, I've been pottering around and just doing a few household jobs, putting clothes away, a couple of washes, stripped the bed. Yeah, just doing a general tidy round of the bedroom, mainly, because I never seem to get round to doing the bedroom that often. I mean, you saw me a couple of months ago do a bit of a spring clean in there, and I just can't believe how dusty it gets. It really does. It's just ridiculous. Anywho, so we had lunch, which was nice, had a lovely sort of salad with some hummus and pitters. That was nice. Then I had a little rest. Then what else did I do? I had to recalibrate my watch. I have a G-Shock watch, which is solar powered. And it's been in a drawer for a while, so I had to charge it up in the sun. Ideal opportunity, now the sun's shining. And I had to recalibrate it. It's radio controlled, so it gets a signal to set the time and the date. But it also has the moon phases and the tide. So I had to recalibrate that, and I'd forgotten how to do it, so I had to get the manual out, blah, blah, blah. And then I finished the afternoon by shaping the bush round the side of the house. There's still a lot of gardening to do. I really need to move on to tidying the patio. I think I mentioned that yesterday. Oh, gosh, there's always things to do. And this is really the reason why I want to get back to my part-time hours, which I've still yet to tackle. The head of service is on annual leave at the moment, so still waiting for my boss to get back from sick leave. So yeah, I've not tackled that issue properly, but this is why I want that, so I can get these jobs done and get back on top of things. There's some decorating I want to do inside the house, but that needs a good few days to get a clear run at it. So I'm kind of, on one level, getting stuff done that needs to be done, but feeling frustrated about the slightly bigger jobs that need to be started. Yeah, but I'm not frustrated to the extent of feeling down about it at all. But there never seems to be any time. Still feeling congested. Clearly this is pollen now. I've realised this. Clearly it affects me now. Hey-ho, whatever. It's not so bad that it's debilitating and stopping me from doing things. It's just bloody annoying when I'm in the garden and my nose is streaming and I have a sneezing fit. Anywho. Moan, Richard. Can't go on. I can go on. Yeah. So that's it for today. I'm going to see if there's any twigs in my hair and settle down for the evening. So bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday afternoon. It's really weird being off. It's sort of, I don't know. It confuses me slightly. And it's weird having a day where I've not done too much. So the plan was to go out today But I looked at the weather forecast, and even though it's absolutely beautiful, blue skies, it's gorgeous, bright sun, the temperature is 30 degrees outside. And we were going to go to Wayland's Smithy, which again is a long barrow, burial chamber with lots of history and steeped in mythology, out in Oxfordshire. I think it's Oxfordshire. And I said to Paul, I said, I think we need to think again about this because the car doesn't have aircon at the moment. It's quite a long journey. It's about 1 hour 45. That's a long journey for me in a hot car. And it's I think a couple of miles walk. Maybe not that far, maybe a mile's walk. And I'm not sure whether I fancy doing that in this heat. Because it's been quite humid as well, and exertion, especially towards the middle of the day, I don't think it's recommended really. So we decided to go to Kew instead. It's nearer, it's not a very far drive. We can have a couple of hours walk, take a few provisions with us, and, do it in relative peace fairly early in the day. Because we're members, you get early opening privileges. You can go in at 8 o'clock as a member and walk around for a couple of hours before the rest of the crowds arrive at 10. So we did that. Here's some footage. Good morning, we're at Kew again. It's about 8:30, so we have early access as we're members. I'm just looking at Kew Palace, looking beautiful, and we're going to explore the gardens behind Kew Palace. Unfortunately, the kitchen garden is closed, which is sort of next to that building there. But there are gardens behind here, so we're going to go and have a look and see what's in bloom. So this garden is the Queen's Garden. Have to be careful because there are sprinklers on. How pretty is that? Gorgeous. Hi, we're in queue. We've just sat down. We've had quite a long walk already. And we just sat down. Say hi, Paul.
Hello.
For a little break. It's very warm this morning. We're in the orchard. I'll swing around in a second. And yeah, we're at queue again. We were going to go to Wayland's Smithy, but we thought twice about it because of the long drive and the proposed 30-degree heat today, which I didn't feel like doing a 2-hour walk in. This is challenging enough, let alone being out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So there you go. So we're at queue again. Easy option. Let me swing you around, show you the orchard. It's looking beautiful. Hold on. We very often choose to sit here because it's very pretty and it's usually very quiet. I think it's about 10 to 10, so the general public are not in the gardens yet.
10 more minutes.
But they will be soon. And we've noticed that there are very few planes this morning coming in. They must be coming in the opposite direction.
Coming in over Reading.
Yeah.
There it is.
I hope you enjoyed that. There are a couple of reels on Instagram as well, showing a lot of the flowers that were in bloom. It really is a great time of year to visit. It's full of colour everywhere, just bursting with colour. Yeah, so let's have a look at what the temperature is now. It's about, 4:30, 4:45, something like that. Let's swing you round. As you can see, it's pretty bright, although there is a little bit of cloud actually up there. Let's have a look at what the temperature says. Doesn't feel too bad indoors, feels pretty pleasant indoors. Oh yeah, well there you go. That's the outside temperature. That's not in the sunshine now at this time of day, so 31 degrees outside. And 21, a very pleasant 21 indoors, 64% humidity, 65%. And pressure-wise, staying fairly steady. Oh, it's 16:57, so coming up to 5 o'clock. Yeah, so it's not too bad in the house, at all. That's the beauty of a Victorian property. It stays pretty cool. Yeah, Paul's out at the moment. Let's swing you around and show you the garden. It's such a mess. I mean, you're all looking at that saying, that looks lovely. Well, it does look lovely from here. And it's exactly what I like. It's a wall of green, but the grass is really, really suffering. And I did a lot of work the other day. I'm not going to go out there with the camera because I think next doors are in their garden, but I did a lot of clearing down here. You couldn't see the Buddha. There was so many weeds all in this area. I've really cut back the grapevine because it flopped all the way down here and was covering up a lot of this plant here. Sorry, can't see where I'm looking. This plant here was being covered by the grapevine that was hanging down. This is an oleander in a pot, and I'm going to be putting that into the earth, but it's not recommended in this kind of weather to transplant pots into the ground. It just won't have a chance to settle in. So I'm going to wait till the weather turns to do that. I mean, it does look pretty from here, but there are gaps. There's a lot of dry earth. There's a few things that are really wilting. But today is not really the day to do it. I'll show you what I did to the bush yesterday. So I shaped up this bush. There were quite a few large bits sticking out, so I got up on a ladder and I've sort of given it a bit of a shape, taken some of the lower branches off, and it's quite a pleasing roundish shape now. So I filled another bag full of stuff, which is down there. You can see it. No, you can't. I find the trouble is at the moment going out in the back garden and doing work, pollen. There's a lot of pollen in the air and I'm permanently bunged up. Paul said he feels as though he's got a slight cold. Yeah, it's just so weird because I've never, in my 57 years, I've never suffered with hay fever and allergies, ever. But this year just seems to be really hitting me, just constantly bunged up. So I'm staying indoors. But that's not to say that I'm not enjoying this weather, because I am. And it's nice. It's nice to be indoors and feel warm. Oh, breezy all of a sudden. Yeah, it's nice to be indoors and feel warm. So I'm pleased about that. So there's not much else to report, really. I'm off tomorrow again. What I will do tomorrow, I don't know. Maybe a local walk, trying to up the exercise, as I discussed before in last week's vlog. So I'm doing that in the form of walking at the moment, but I'm going to be picking up a workout at some point. When I say picking up, restarting workouts. But I'm not working out in this heat. No way. I'm not doing it. It's too much. Plus, if I'm working out to that extent, I've got to have a bath. So, I don't want to be having baths every 5 minutes. No. Not every 5 minutes. You know what I mean. Anywho, I'm going to say goodbye because I've got stuff to do. I'm developing photographs from Q. I've made a couple of reels as well, which will be out today. If you're not following us on Instagram, please do. That would be great if you could. Yeah, that's it. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon, the final day of my annual leave. Back at work tomorrow. Hurrah! I've just eaten 3 Lindor. I have. They were delicious. In this heat, the liquid centre is really liquid. I felt as though I needed a mid-afternoon boost. So, we managed to get out again today. We weren't planning it, but this morning when we got up, I thought, you know what, I really fancy a walk in the Chilterns. So I said to Paul, Chilterns? And he went, okay. He said, my legs are still recovering. I said, I know what you mean. I said, but I think we just need to get out there again and take advantage of the time. And also, to be able to take some photos and bring you along as well. So yeah, we drove up this morning. We left around, I think it was 9:30, 9:45, something like that. Took a snack with us. It was feeling pretty warm by then. So we drove up this time to Cowley's Woods. and we took a walk along the top of the hill to take in the view and look at the meadows, which was interesting. There were a few fenced off areas, and Paul said there was a sign saying they'd been testing a herbicide to kill off some of the invading grasses. Anyway, Paul will talk more about that on A Week at the Plot in his vlog. So there were some interesting things. There weren't as many butterflies on one side of the hill, but then as we went round the corner, the numbers increased. So that was also interesting. So we had a good walked across the hill, then back, and then through the woods. And there were some changes in the woods as well. They've been doing some management of the woodland. And I know that this has to happen, but it did look a bit of a mess in certain areas where they clearly had some very heavy machinery with huge wheels doing the work. So there were a lot of areas that the bits of wood that they've clearly chopped down trees were sort of strewn around. And it was a little bit sad, really, because we've been visiting that woodland for quite some time, and in areas it looks a little bit decimated. Still very beautiful, but clearly the work was well overdue. And I said to Paul, surely if you're managing a woodland, if you have to decimate those large areas of it, surely you're not keeping on top of it. I think it's privately owned, or maybe partially owned, I don't know. There were also some areas where areas that get very muddy that had been covered over with these sort of panels. And there was a sign from the Forestry Commission saying these panels have been put in place on top of soft earth. And they are areas that get notoriously muddy in the winter. We know, we've been there a few times in the winter. So there were a few things that were like, oh, okay. I understand woodlands have to be managed. I do understand that. But it all seemed a little bit drastic. And my first thought is, the wildlife. It's clearly caused quite a bit of disturbance. Anywho, so here's some footage. I do hope you enjoy it. Run VT. So we're here up at Aston, Rowant in the Chilterns, and it's a beautiful day. It's so lovely to be under the shade of the trees. It's much cooler here. Makes such a difference. And I think city planners should take this into account, where you have green, plenty of it, there is coolness and shade and a comfortable temperature, even on a very hot day like this. just sat down to have a little break. And this is our view. A typical English countryside view. You can hear the M40 motorway. That's just coming into view now. Oh, I don't think you can see too. Oh, you can see a little bit of it there. I hope you enjoyed that. It was certainly a good walk, and I'm certainly feeling it now. I'm feeling a bit knackered, actually. And back to work tomorrow. But I do feel as though I've had a reasonable amount of time off and a bit of breathing space, time to do a few bits and pieces, just potter at my leisure and do some walking. So I've kind of fulfilled my goal of starting higher levels of exercise, which is good, although I have just eaten 3 Lindor, which has probably negated all of that exercise. Balance, that's what it's about. So I am going to have a bath and wash my hair. My hair is such a mess. It's such a frizzy, feeling dry mess, and it needs a good cut as well. I'm getting a little bit sick of wearing it up all the time. I'm sick of looking at this, scraped back hair, which makes me look sort of half bald. I really want a shorter style, but it's finding a hairdresser. I don't have a hairdresser. I don't know any hairdressers other than my friend who does it for me occasionally. I might get her to chop it a lot shorter. Just be brave. I just fancy something I can just, sort of tousle and go with a, bit of a fringe. I've always had a high forehead, so this isn't anything new. But, I have lost a bit over the past 20 years. And I'd just like a little bit of a fringe, I think, because it makes a difference. It changes the way your face looks, Anywho, I'm waffling now. It's still very warm. A bit cloudy today, feeling humid. And I believe it's going to get a little cooler towards the end of the week. So we're probably in for more normal temperatures. Yeah. So there we go. I'm off now. I'm going to run a bath, do some editing as well. And yeah, get ready, get things ready for my return to work. I mean, that's not particularly difficult. I don't really do anything to get ready, actually. Just make sure my things are in my bag and that I've got clean clothes, which I have. All my washing's virtually up to date. So that's all good. And I'll do a little tidy round as well, maybe a little vacuum round as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Good evening. It's Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. Well done. The weather is much cooler. Much, much cooler. In fact, it's slightly cold in here now. So we were treated to a mini heat wave and now it's gone. Oh well, that's okay. We had a really nice breezy day yesterday, which enabled us to open the windows and run any remaining heat out of the house, because it was getting a little bit stuffy. But the pollen levels are still quite high. I'm still bunged up most days. Paul's got a virus. He's had a sore throat, he's got a cough, but he's had a bit of a rest this afternoon. So, yeah, I hope I don't get it. I feel okay so far, apart from being bunged up. Work has been fine, it's been relatively busy, not too bad. Just getting on with it, you know. My boss is now back from her sick leave, which is really good news. So it means there are a few things that I've been trying to achieve that I can now get sorted, which is good. So yeah, it's the weekend now. Time to do other stuff, like chores. Again, it's one long round, isn't it? Chores, work. I did washing this morning. Woke up really early this morning. It was, what time was it? 5:47 when I looked at the clock. And I thought, I'm going to put a wash on now, get it done, out the way, so I don't have to think about that tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be pottering around, doing housework, doing the things that need to be done to enable a quiet Sunday of doing creative things. That's my aim. And we haven't got anything planned this weekend, so yeah, let's keep it that way. Other than recording Sunday chat and putting this vlog together. But I've put most of it together by now already, so it's not too bad. So yeah, there's nothing else to report really. No, that's it. Couple of days of work. It's the weekend. That's it. That's life. Nothing exciting. Nothing out of the ordinary. That's the way it goes. C'est la vie. So I'll see you tomorrow for the final instalment. Bye for now. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's a chores morning. And this morning I am cleaning the blinds. Now these are the blinds in the front room and the bedroom. And the top of the stairs, they're wooden blinds, hardwood blinds. Let me swing you round. You've seen them a few times. The thing about these blinds is, I mean, they're great. We had them done, oh God, I don't know how long ago it was now. I don't know, they must be 10 years old. The thing about these kind of blinds is they don't last forever, but I'm pretty good at keeping them clean. Although today what I'm doing is I'm doing the sort of back sides of them. And the bits that really get dirty are these bits here, and also down here as well, down this lower level. And I don't know whether you can see, but they're quite faded. That's sun damage. But these areas get really dirty, and down here as well. So I'm giving them a good clean, pulling them out. I've pulled everything out. That's a lamp on the floor there. I don't have it on very often, but when I do fancy a little ambiance and floor lighting, I do have it on. It's an old IKEA one with a Philips Hue bulb in it. Anyway, that was a bit distracting. I'm going to crack on with that now because I need to do this lot here. I've got my shark somewhere. Yeah, I've got my shark to pick up the bits. Yeah, I'm going to crack on. Just get it done. One of the advantages of being tall is I can reach right to the top. I know. I've done that one, I think. Forget which ones I've done. Yeah, I think I've done both of those, I think. Yeah, that one's done. Sometimes I use a sock. And the other good thing about these blinds is the different configurations that you can have. You know, you can have them open at the bottom if you want. Look how big that looks when you do that. And if you open them all, it can give a real feeling of space. It really makes the window look, well, it shows its size. And you know, you can have the bottom ones closed if you want. You get the picture. They're versatile. Love them. But like I say, they don't last forever. And Paul was saying he noticed a house had got rid of theirs and were obviously having new ones put in. And he thought that, you know, how long are these going to last for? Well, you know, I do look after them. I do keep them clean. I dust them regularly. This is more of a sort of spring clean. But I do keep them dusted regularly, and they did get a bit of damage from the cats, because the cats, when they first saw them, thought, "Oh, lovely, that's a big ladder. I'm going to climb that." Yeah. So they got a few scratches along the way, but they've been really great. And we did get them cheaper than the usual companies like Hillary's Blinds and stuff like that. The quote we got from Hillary's was massive, and it was beyond our means. Those bits get so dirty. So yeah, the company that did them was based in Brighton, but they no longer do the London area, sadly. But hopefully there's a good few years left in these, certainly while we're still here. Okay. That one done. Final one. I'm really pleased I've done that. I did upstairs as well, and at the top of the stairs we've also got one. I just think they look great. And the other thing that I need to sort out, which I want to do today, is unfortunately this rug in the front room is attracting moths. It's been eaten in several places. It's a Persian rug. It's a genuine Persian rug from Iran, vintage. But unfortunately, it's just been lunched. We keep noticing moths, and I'm sure they're under the sofa. We've got a few moth traps dotted around, but unfortunately, it's, I think, just going to get worse. So this rug needs to go, and I'm going to replace it with a polypropylene rug. Yeah, ruggable. I've got one in the dining room. It's never been touched by anything. It looks exactly how it looked when I bought it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure up and get a replacement. I've got a few pennies put away. So, you know, things have to be replaced. That's the thing. You know, things do not last forever, like I said about the blinds. You know, and I've said this before, I will never buy Persian rugs again. You know, I think this will probably be the 4th rug that's been attacked. And as I've said before, I've tried all sorts of methods, chemicals, essential oils, the whole lot. I've tried it all. Doesn't work. Once they're here, they're here. And I don't think you can ever really get rid of them. I think they get into the cracks in the floorboards, things like that. So the only way to tackle it is to take away the things that they eat. Especially once they're ruined, which these are. So, yeah. Hey ho, c'est la vie. Yeah, it's a real pain. It's a real pain in the backside. So, what else am I going to be getting on with this morning? We're going to film Sunday Chat this afternoon. What's the temperature? Let's have a little look. I think I mentioned that it's a lot cooler now. So, yeah, you can see 21 outside, 18 inside. Pressure is not really changing that much. 51% humidity. It's a lovely day, actually. Really nice. But I know that some people have got rain today in the northwest, I think. So, yeah. So there's not much else to report, really. It's very sunny. See, the sun is streaming into the kitchen. Stupid phone. I don't know why it does all of that. It's not the best camera on this phone, but hey, that's what I've got, so I won't be changing it anytime soon. Yeah, chores this morning, Sunday chat this afternoon, and yeah, I think that's it for today. I've got a few photos I need to develop on the computer, but yeah. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a bit of a bumper one this week. I hope that was okay, but you know, 'tis the way things are. Yeah, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate everybody that comments. It's lovely to read your comments. It really is. It's a pleasure. So I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday Chat, and have a great weekend. Bye for now.